Hi, I am going to be making a stir fry with this mix that I have of vegetables, Asian mix, sesame, soy, and I'm going to do that. I have 2 pounds, not 2 pounds, two chicken breasts cut up, and I'm going to start stir frying those. And basically, I like to get this started before I add the vegetables and all that kind of stuff in. And that is on high heat. Turn it down just a little bit. I put in just a little bit of avocado oil into it. You don't always necessarily brown chicken. I mean, you don't have to use chicken, you could use pork, but I had chicken. And this is going to make 3 servings, so they say. When you're looking at portion control, you really want to look at some of those things. Now, I do have some red onion that I had used, that I cut up. So I'm going to add that in now. I also have some of those bell peppers that I had from the food pantry that I'm going to add in. I'm kind of going to let that cook a little bit. And now I'm going to add in this mix. Sure we get all the goodness in there. Now on top of this, I also have some leftover peas, so I'm going to throw those in. And just let this all cook up. As you can see, that's a whole lot of food. I would imagine I could probably get 4 servings out of this, and that's probably what I will do, is break that down into 4 servings. Once it is cooked and veggies are cooked in there. I have some rice on the stove that is making, and I will tell you about that rice. But now I need to turn the flame off. And when I make my rice, it doesn't matter if I'm making Mexican rice white rice, whatever. I always just put in 1 cup of rice and I brown it in a little bit of oil first, about maybe 1 to 3 minutes tops, stirring it so that the rice gets a little brown. I mean, that's something I've done for years. I think one of my girlfriend's mother, when she would make us fideo or sopita or what we called sopa, that's how she would do the rice when she was cooking it. Basically a fancy word for Mexican rice. That's what she always called it. So I'm gonna let this cook down. There's some liquid in there, and the liquid will cook off from that. And then I'm gonna do a taste test to see if I need to add any more seasonings. And anyway, all right. For the rice, 1 cup to 3 cups of water. You don't rinse your rice. You brown it in a little bit of oil. Once it's brown, then you add your 3 cups of water. Then you add whatever seasoning you want. Since I have chicken in this dish, I added 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon to that rice, mixed it in. You cook it on high for 10 minutes. Then you turn off the flame or the heat if you are doing electric skillets. Turn the heat off, let it sit there for 5 minutes. The entire time it's covered, you don't lift up the cover, you don't look at it, you don't peek, anything, or it just doesn't come out the same. I have 2 kitties down here behind me that are just a staring and a watching. I think they're hoping that they'll get a snack. You can put a lid on this if you want. I don't normally do that. I just let it cook the way it's going. But then once your rice has sat on your stove, after you've turned the flame off, you sit it there for 5 minutes, leave it, and then you take it completely off the heat, off that high, whatever, and you let it sit 10 minutes, covered. You don't touch it. You don't look at it. You don't peek at it. Nothing. You just let it go. And then after 10 minutes, your rice is ready. Very delicious. It's fluffy, flavorful. If you're making Mexican rice, the only thing that you would add to that 1 cup of rice might be 5 tablespoons of tomato sauce. That's it for a Mexican rice. So yeah, it's pretty good. But for every 1 cup of rice that you are cooking, you will add 3 cups of water. That goes against everything they say, even to the point of what's on the rice packages. And it doesn't matter if you use jasmine rice, basmati rice, regular white rice. It all comes out pretty much the same. But it's delicious. So, yeah, like I said, we'll let this cook down a little bit. And then I will taste it. I'll be back when it gets closer to being done. And I wanted to show you how that rice came out. This is the rice. Perfectly cooked. Where's my spoon? Don't know what I did with my spoon. Okay, we'll use this one then. But it comes out nice, fluffy, very flavorful. So I'm going to put a scoop on my plate. Actually going to put 2 scoops. It's about 1.5 servings. And then to my stir fry mix, I did add a little more soy sauce, and I did add some ginger to it. So I'm just gonna plate up a little bit there. And there's dinner. And this plate is 8.5 inches across. So this is a perfect size for me, I feel, so that's what I use. No issues there. So I have enough here. I could probably have a little bit more of this on my plate and still have enough for 2 servings for the next time, or even really 3 servings. You want to put it with the rice. So I've got enough for 3 more servings. All right, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you give it a try, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.